Hey everyone, my name is David Caraccio. I am the Director of Sales for Brokerage Properties, and today we're going to be looking at the numbers that Sabor released comparing May of 2020 to May of 2019. Now the reason why I think this month is a very particular month or important month which we should be taking a look at is because this is kind of like the highlights or the main portion of the lockdown, at least for here in Bexar County. Now, if you're looking at this number, these months, obviously as we moved to June and in July, things started opening back up. The market really got flooded with a lot of buyers, and our inventories for our sales or the properties that we had on the market dropped significantly. But I believe that's because it was kind of a holding pattern from what we saw here in March and in May. So let's go over into May real quick, and I'm going to show you the numbers compared to that of 2019. For 2020, we had 2,869 properties. Compared that to the year before that, it was 3,590 properties. So that was actually a reduction of 20% of the homes that sold in 2020, May of 2020. But there is a good part of this this environment that we went in. We actually still had a sales increase, or the sales average sales price of 3%. For this year, it was 2,000. So let me rephrase that again, 281,000. I wish homes were selling for $2,000. That would be amazing. But this is going to be for our single-family home market. So your average, your single-family homes, not multifamily, not condo, not land. This is just talking about the single-family homes. So we had a 3% increase. Now, if you look at from January to the end of March, we still had a 5% increase a year to date compared to that of 2019. So, is San Antonio still a strong market? Yes, depending on how you're looking at it. What I saw on the front lines is that a lot of the occupied properties, the ones that homeowners were actually trying to sell themselves or sell with a realtor, they took it off the market. They didn't want people coming in with COVID, potentially exposing them to the virus. They wanted to shelter in place and wait until the end of the season or end of the pandemic, or at least a little bit of a relief before they put it on the markets. Also, being the military city we are, a lot of people's orders got placed on hold. So they thought they're going to be moving in June, and they got pushed back to it may be soon. They didn't really have a date. What we're starting to see now in July, a lot of those dates are starting to come back. I have a lot of friends of mine who are still in the military. By the way, I was in the military myself. I have a lot of friends in the military who are now getting their orders out of San Antonio, and that was all just kind of pushed back. So now we're going to see kind of a heightened push of both buyers and sellers as we have that quick turnover at the end of the summertime, when usually it's pretty spaced out between the entire 3 or 4 months of the season. The other industry I want to cover is kind of an important industry for myself, because this is where most of my investment portfolio lies, which is going to be in the multifamily region. Kind of an issue with the multifamily region for the month of May. We only had 19 homes sold. That's it. Only 19 houses in the multifamily sold in May of 2020. But I don't think that's because that was a lower demand necessarily, but a lot of mortgage companies were putting a hold on investment properties. They increased the amount of minimum credit score you need to have. They increased the amount of money you need to put down. They put a lot of things on hold, pushed a lot of things back, and delayed a lot of our closings. Even here internally for Brokerage Properties, we had a lot of multifamily properties under contract in the month of May, but they all got pushed back to the month of June just because all these changes that mortgage companies were facing that unfortunately got pushed to our clients. So only 19 houses. Now, the year before that, just kind of so you can understand the comparison, 41 homes, multifamily side, which is a pretty good amount. So there's a reduction of negative 54% year to year. But the sales price, I can't really say this is a really good reflection. I'll tell you what the sales price was, and then you can kind of analyze it yourself too. So for this year, 2020, $256,000. The year before that, $2,900 and I keep on saying 2000s. I wish I could buy multifamily properties in the $2,000 mark. $296,000. That's a reduction of 14% from 2019 to 2020. But I don't think that's a good reflection. And when I looked at these 14 properties, kind of see why there's such a drop in the sales price. And it's because a lot of the properties that sold were smaller duplexes, a lot of properties that needed work, and a lot of the new construction properties, the ones that really kind of pushed that market drive for the average sales price, they all stopped. A lot of my new construction loans for a lot of my investors, they just stopped doing draws. They said, we're not doing any more draws. We're going to hold off and see what happens next month. And things started opening back up and started selling again. What I did see was there was a lot of inventory that was just sitting on the market that month as well. The following month, June, and going into July, now that we're in July again, and moving into July, almost halfway through July, damn, time is flying by. But moving into that, the inventory just dropped, it plummeted because everyone was starting to move back into the market. Mortgage companies started giving the green lights, underwriters started being a little more comfortable with this new environment we're in, and they just started funding like crazy. So we've had an influx of demand, and it finally opened up and allowed the floodgates open for investors to keep investing here in San Antonio. The last piece I want to cover is going to be the residential rental side, because once you have an investment property, what good is it if you can't get a tenant? You need to have a tenant to be able to pay for that mortgage payment. We actually had an increase. This is going to be the only increase we've seen in these three portions of the markets. So last May, or this May 2020, we had 1,489 homes that were rented out. The year before that was 1,300. Did I say 14,000? 1,489. And going into the year before that, it was 1,383. So it was an increase of 8% total. Now, we did have a reduction of our markets. So this is not a bad thing. I'm not scared of it myself. I have 4 rental properties, and this doesn't really scare me because it is only 1 month of the entire year. The average price did drop about $20 per month, average $20 per month. So right now our average price for San Antonio market is $1,508 for an average single-family home to rent here in San Antonio. So it's only a reduction of 2%. I don't think that's a significant amount to say that's really an effect by the pandemic. You can't really see the word because it's a little throttled down on YouTube, but you know the virus that's going around. But I don't really see that really being an effect. Now moving forward, a lot of the people who would normally buy a house might be priced out of buying a house right now because of the minimum credit scores being increased so high. Chase announced, they're up in the 680s, especially in the month of May. That's when they initially said that they're now at 680 versus 580 or 620. A lot of other mortgage companies put on all these restrictions. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Are they going to continue renting? People who are typically buying houses that come in from a tenant background, buying a house, are they going to just renew their lease this time around? Or are they still going to push into the market? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But for the rental side, it's still a strong market. More homes going on. Let me say this. The days of market continue to reduce. For Birdie Properties, our days of market is just dropping. We can't keep properties on our inventory list long enough for most people. They call in, there's already 5 or 6 applications per house. So coming from the property management side, they're strong. They're still collecting a lot of rents. I know on the newsletter for Birdie Properties, they're putting out the percentages, but it's in the high 90s of actual tenants that are still paying full payments on rent. So I don't see really much of an issue on that side. I think I just swallowed a fly. But if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Once again, my name is David Caracho. I am the Director of Sales for Birdie Properties. If you're looking to invest here in San Antonio market or purchase your first home, please contact us. The number will be right here, right here. I'll see if I can fit it right there. Go and contact us there, and you'll be in touch with one of our realtors. If you have any questions for myself, please reach me at 210-771-1658. And thank you so much again for working with Birdie Properties, and I'll see you guys next time.